There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind. Rachel Meghan Markle was a semi-expensive yacht girl, and she knows it.
Many of you have seen this picture already. You see that there's Meghan with her Cajuna hat.
In this video, we're diving into one of the most explosive revelations to rock the royal family in recent years. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, has allegedly made statements that connect Meghan Markle to Prince Andrew in ways nobody expected. Could this change everything we thought we knew about how Harry met his wife? Make sure you stick around until the end, because we'll reveal the one detail that ties this entire story together. And drop a comment below.
Everything happened because of Fergie.
Do you think the royal family has been hiding secrets about Meghan's past? The story begins with a moment that sent ripples through royal circles.
Meghan Markle was introduced by Sarah Ferguson to Prince Harry.
When Sarah Ferguson spoke up recently, her words didn't feel like casual gossip. They felt deliberate, calculated, and impossible to ignore.
He said Miss Markle was a close companion to Prince Andrew.
According to sources, everything traces back to Fergie herself. One statement from her created waves that reached Buckingham Palace.
Meghan Markle was introduced through Marcus Anderson to Sarah Ferguson.
Caught Prince Harry completely off guard and put Meghan Markle at the center of one of the most controversial rumors the monarchy has seen in decades.
According to people, she got started her yachting days and she never stopped really. I don't think any of her boyfriends knew about it, but Meghan Markle was known as a hardcore yacht partying person, ready for anything.
This isn't just...
Reports suggest that Meghan Markle's introduction to Prince Harry came through Sarah Ferguson's network. What started as quiet conversations and familiar exchanges suddenly turned explosive when a reporter allegedly captured words that altered the entire narrative. The phrase that emerged suggested Meghan had connections to Andrew that predated her relationship with Harry. Almost instantly, media outlets erupted with headlines. Social platforms went into overdrive. Within mere hours, references to Meghan's alleged past activities became a worldwide trending topic. But here's what caught everyone by surprise. This wasn't just another anonymous rumor floating through tabloid pages. According to multiple accounts, Meghan Markle's path to royal circles involved Marcus Anderson, who then connected her to Sarah Ferguson. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess who has experienced public exile, intense scrutiny, and remarkable comebacks more than perhaps any modern royal, was now suggesting something far more controversial. And, notably, she showed no signs of retreating from her position. Reports indicate that behind closed palace doors, Harry's reaction was one of complete disbelief.
And we also have this. This is Karina Shuliak, Epstein's girlfriend.
And the only times she traveled and went anywhere was with him. And guess who's on the other end with her Panama hat?
Palace staff reportedly moved into crisis mode. The royal family's traditionally impenetrable wall of silence started showing cracks. What exactly did Fergie intend by using the phrase she allegedly used? Why make such statements now? And what hidden history could possibly link Meghan Markle, who transformed from Hollywood actress to Duchess, with Prince Andrew's well-documented controversial associations? This situation goes beyond typical royal drama. We're looking at a story that threatens to expose the monarchy's most carefully guarded vulnerabilities. As more individuals begin speaking out, one question dominates every private conversation happening in Windsor. Did Fergie accidentally reveal something true? Or did she purposefully ignite a fire designed to destroy carefully maintained appearances? Because what unfolded afterward caught absolutely everyone unprepared. The situation developed like most royal weekends typically do. There were discreet charity events, practiced smiles, and endless displays of rehearsed elegance. But underneath this polished surface, something problematic was developing.
Jeffrey Epstein was also Harvey Weinstein, very prominent. There were members. Meghan Markle was just one of the working girls for Soho House. Call girl, working girl, escort, whatever you want to call it. That's what she was.
Whispers about an unfiltered moment from Sarah Ferguson had already circulated among certain insiders well before the general public became aware. Initially, most dismissed it as impossible. After all, Fergie had survived decades of intense tabloid scrutiny. She understood perfectly well how one thoughtless comment could spark a major incident. Yet this particular time, she appeared unbothered by potential consequences. At a private gathering in Mayfair, surrounded by established aristocrats and attentive journalists, Fergie reportedly delivered a comment that landed with tremendous impact. According to witnesses, she stated with a knowing expression that people often forget Meghan's first royal connection wasn't actually Harry. The room reportedly went silent. Someone nervously laughed, assuming it was humor. It wasn't. These words traveled faster than anyone could have anticipated. Within hours, text messages circulated through palace corridors. The alleged phrase about Andrew began appearing in private group conversations.
Prince Andrew, have you noticed how he completely avoids looking at Meghan Markle when she's around him or when she was around him?
Then in newsroom drafts, then spreading across social media platforms. Harry, according to insider accounts, struggled to accept it. He'd encountered rumors previously, as every royal has. But this situation felt fundamentally different. It originated from inside the family structure, from someone who understood Andrew more intimately than almost anyone. Suddenly, what might have been dismissed as idle chatter transformed into a genuine credibility emergency. By midnight, royal correspondents were already constructing timelines, attempting to link Meghan's Hollywood background to Andrew's luxury yacht events that had long been surrounded by controversy. The palace's public relations apparatus scrambled, quietly issuing no-comment responses, while journalists sharpened their investigative angles. Behind those gilded doors, the question nobody felt comfortable voicing out loud continued simmering.
Here we have Andrew, with whom looks like Marcus Anderson. This is in 2001, when Meghan Markle would have allegedly been on third year. Meghan Markle hardly spent any time at Northwestern University.
Was Fergie revealing a secret the institution had deliberately buried? Or was she settling a long-standing personal grudge? And if revenge motivated her actions, this represented merely the opening move. Long before royal tiaras, internationally broadcast interviews, and California mansions, Meghan Markle existed in a world characterized by ambition, strategic networking, and constant self-reinvention. Hollywood showed little kindness to newcomers. Meghan understood this reality better than most. Between minor acting roles, red carpet appearances, and charity functions, she constructed her public image methodically, always presenting a smile, always thinking strategically. But beneath that carefully polished exterior existed a powerful drive to ascend, to escape the obscurity that consumed so many aspiring performers in Los Angeles. Friends from her early career years remember her charisma and calculated approach, how she could enter a room filled with producers and exit with everyone remembering her identity. She navigated effortlessly between different social circles, connecting with business executives, celebrities, and even some royal-adjacent personalities who attended the same exclusive events. Among these social gatherings were the elite yacht parties. These lavish floating escapes represented venues where business deals, valuable introductions, and sometimes reputations were established. These weren't the scandalous scenes tabloids prefer to portray, but they weren't entirely innocent gatherings either. Connections formed at such events often came with whispered understandings, exchanged favors, and unspoken obligations. Rumors indicate Meghan attended several such gatherings while building her professional brand, seeking visibility among influential circles. No concrete evidence exists, only scattered sightings, anonymous source claims, and suggestive photographs that resurfaced years later. But it's precisely this fog of partial truths that gave Fergie's words their powerful sting. By connecting Meghan's alleged yacht attendance to Prince Andrew's world, Ferguson didn't simply spread gossip. She fundamentally rewrote Meghan's pre-royal narrative in the public consciousness. To tabloid media, this proved irresistible. The actress who conquered Hollywood, then the palace, possibly connected to its most controversial figure. And, whether factual or fabricated, the story wielded power, because perception in the royal world.
It could be also happening that the royal family is saying, hey, if you put a book out about Meghan Markle and completely destroy everything and really tell the people how Meghan met Harry.
Often proves more destructive than proof. And Fergie understood that principle exceptionally well. To fully comprehend the shock value of Fergie's alleged words, you must understand the complicated shadow cast by Prince Andrew, a man once celebrated as a royal hero, now virtually synonymous with scandal and public disgrace. For years, Andrew moved through elite circles with unchecked privilege, enjoying his title and access to powerful networks. From lavish island retreats to exclusive yacht parties along the Mediterranean coast, he embodied royal excess in its most extreme form. Those who knew him described someone addicted to luxury, obsessed with social status, and surrounded by enablers who encouraged both tendencies. But the illusion shattered rapidly. His associations with powerful financiers and questionable individuals transformed his name into toxic headline material. The infamous friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, his disastrous interview that left the monarchy deeply humiliated. Each moment carved deeper fractures into his once pristine reputation. By the time Fergie's alleged comments surfaced, the world already viewed Andrew as the royal family's greatest liability, the one member they couldn't defend without facing severe consequences. That's what made this connection to Meghan so devastatingly explosive. Linking her to Andrew wasn't merely a personal attack. It represented a nuclear-level accusation. It tied the Duchess, already polarizing in public opinion, to the darkest chapter in modern royal history.
She'd been a Deal or No Deal girl. She was calling herself a model, and she was starring in a show Suits. She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip, which is why she was making good money. It wasn't on Suits, it was on her yachting trip.
The mere suggestion that she might have crossed paths with Andrew's inner circle years before marrying Harry provided tabloids with endless fuel for speculation. For the institution, this scenario represented an absolute nightmare. Two of the monarchy's most controversial figures suddenly entangled in a single explosive narrative. And while Andrew remained silent, hidden from public view, Fergie's words gave his dark shadow renewed life, stretching directly across Meghan's carefully constructed public image. Because when Andrew's name enters any conversation, silence stops being an option. When Sarah Ferguson speaks, the world typically listens out of pure curiosity. But this particular time, her words struck like lightning across royal society.
Harry also knows Meghan was on Jeffrey Epstein's yacht with Prince Andrew.
During what was intended as an off-record conversation at a discreet London venue, Fergie reportedly leaned forward, and with that mischievous expression she's well known for, delivered a sentence that froze everyone present. Let's just say Meghan had connections to Andrew's circle first. The tone seemed casual, almost playful, but everyone present felt the atmosphere dramatically shift. Those few words carried implications capable of scorching reputations permanently. Within hours, the alleged comment leaked to media sources. By the following morning, journalists were circling intensely, analyzing every syllable. Did Fergie mean her statement as a pointed jab? A metaphor for Meghan's calculated networking strategies? Or was she hinting at something more literal? Something darker concealed within Andrew's controversial past? The ambiguity only intensified the media frenzy. Fergie, for her part, neither confirmed nor denied making the statement. Instead, she retreated into her characteristic mix of deflection and charm, offering subtle smiles when questioned by reporters. The kind of expression that communicates everything.
This woman knows that she's in trouble with Fergie because she knows where Meghan Markle's bodies are buried. She knows that Meghan Markle has been yachting. In fact, they had friction because Meghan had originally set her sights on Prince Andrew, but she lucked out with the idiot Harry. Not in a million years did Meghan think that she was going to score Prince Harry. She thought she was going to score Andrew until Fergie put a stop to it.
While actually revealing nothing. Palace insiders, however, were reportedly furious. Communications teams rushed to distance senior royals from the growing fallout, while whispers circulated that Fergie had once again gone completely off script. But beneath the official outrage, a quieter reality persisted. She knew precisely what she was doing. Ferguson's entire public existence has thrived on walking a tightrope between confession and calculated chaos. This bombshell wasn't an accidental slip. It represented a deliberately struck match. By aligning Meghan's name with Andrew's infamy, Fergie didn't just resurrect old gossip. She completely reshaped the royal narrative. Suddenly, Meghan's silence appeared suspicious. Harry's reported anger seemed entirely justified, and the world waited for a response that never materialized.
In my opinion, in my analysis, and my experience of decades, this kind of analysis for me is the real deal. If a photo such as this of Meghan Markle with Prince Andrew years ago surfaces, that will be quite an scandal.
Just when the storm seemed ready to settle, another question emerged. Why make such statements now? Every royal revelation arrives with underlying motivation. And Sarah Ferguson's bombshell proved no exception. To understand why she might drop such a loaded statement, you must trace her complicated relationship with the monarchy, a story marked by exile, redemption, and endless strategic reinvention. Fergie has never been a stranger to scandal. From her infamous tabloid headlines to her financial controversies and public apologies, she has experienced the complete cycle of disgrace and survival. Each time the royal family pushed her toward the margins, she clawed her way back into relevance. Smiling, gracious, but always calculating her next move. So why mention Meghan now? Some insiders believe it represents revenge, subtle payback for years of being treated as an institutional outsider by the same establishment that later welcomed Meghan. Others interpret it as Fergie reclaiming her power, reasserting herself within a narrative that has long marginalized her. There's also the possibility that she's playing the media manipulation game she knows exceptionally well, stirring controlled chaos to boost her own visibility at a time when royal attention shifts elsewhere. It's equally possible that Ferguson thought she was defending Andrew, attempting to divert scrutiny from his name by creating a fresh distraction. Whatever her true reasoning, one fact remains absolutely clear. Fergie understands timing better than virtually anyone. She survived decades of public humiliation by mastering the art of selective truth-telling, providing the press just enough substance to consume while keeping herself indispensable to the story. This moment might represent her boldest calculated gamble yet. In one carefully crafted sentence, she managed to redirect global attention, reopen royal wounds, and insert herself back into headlines she once dominated. Whether it represents strategy or desperation, Fergie has once again demonstrated her exceptional talent for creating chaos. And the real question becomes, what did she expect to gain from igniting this particular fire? The morning after Fergie's alleged comment hit tabloid front pages, Buckingham Palace entered quiet crisis mode. No official statement emerged, no press briefing occurred, just an impenetrable wall of silence thicker than the palace gates themselves. Behind that calm exterior facade, however, absolute chaos reigned. Advisors shuffled between emergency meetings, phones buzzed constantly, and senior courtiers debated intensely how to contain a story that had already spiraled far beyond any control. Every branch of the royal family suddenly found itself under intense scrutiny, and nobody wanted to become the first to publicly react. Prince Harry, according to a source close to his inner circle, felt furious yet conflicted. The rumor had humiliated him publicly, yet he recognized that any emotional outburst would only worsen the situation. Meghan reportedly withdrew from public view, avoiding cameras and postponing scheduled public appearances. Her team worked overtime, quietly reviewing potential legal response options. While the couple's critics celebrated the chaos online, the tension inside the Sussex camp felt palpable. Not just because of the accusation itself, but because of its source. Fergie wasn't an anonymous critic, she was family. Meanwhile, senior royals maintained careful distance, pretending neutrality while monitoring every headline development. Behind the scenes, damage control became an intricate art form. Advisors coordinated with media outlets attempting to redirect focus back toward charitable events and official duties. But the story refused to fade. The alleged phrase lingered in headlines like smoke that wouldn't dissipate. In private corridors, resentment grew. Some accused Fergie of betrayal. Others whispered she might have been strategically set up. What united them all was fear. Fear that another royal scandal, this time involving Meghan, could reopen the wounds left by Andrew's very public downfall. The monarchy thrives on maintaining control, but this time, control was rapidly slipping away, and just when they thought they'd weathered the worst. Meghan's continued silence began speaking volumes. By dawn, the royal machine operated on pure panic and protocol. Aides rushed into meetings with tense expressions, carrying folders labeled urgent, while maintaining an appearance that everything remained under control. The firm's golden rule, never explain, never complain, suddenly felt dangerously fragile. Sarah Ferguson's remark had detonated across the media landscape. And now, the royal family's reputation faced siege once again. Inside private offices, damage control unfolded with military-style precision. Advisors drafted no-comment responses, while senior royals debated whether to publicly distance themselves or allow the story to eventually burn out. But the problem extended beyond mere optics. It represented a crisis of trust. Fergie's comment didn't originate from an outsider. It came from within their own family circle. That betrayal struck harder than any tabloid headline possibly could. Harry, sources whispered, felt deeply unsettled. He didn't know whether to confront Fergie directly or let legal teams handle the situation. Meghan stayed completely out of sight, her silence amplifying speculation exponentially. Even palace staff noticed the palpable tension. Doors closed faster, voices lowered carefully, smiles became more rehearsed. Every spoken word risked becoming tomorrow's headline. Meanwhile, courtiers attempted to pivot public attention toward royal duties and responsibilities. But the public wasn't buying the distraction. The story had grown teeth. Every press appearance, every photo opportunity carried the weight of unanswered questions. Behind polished smiles, the royals were holding their collective breath, praying the scandal would pass like so many before it. But this time felt fundamentally different. The threat wasn't coming from the outside world. It was blooming from within their own bloodline. As the dust begins to settle, if it ever truly can, one truth remains absolutely clear. This story has changed the royal landscape forever. What began as an allegedly offhand remark from Sarah Ferguson has evolved into a full-blown crisis of loyalty, image, and institutional power. Meghan's silence still looms like a storm cloud. Harry's trust feels shaken, and the royal institution once again finds itself fighting ghosts it believed were buried permanently. But perhaps that's the recurring pattern of this family. Every time they attempt to control the narrative, another secret finds its way to the surface. The question now isn't whether Fergie went too far, but what else she might be concealing. Because if this represents what she'll say publicly, imagine what's still being whispered behind palace walls. So what do you think? Did Sarah Ferguson accidentally reveal the truth? Or is she playing a much deeper game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe, because we're just getting started with this story. There's so much more to uncover, and you won't want to miss what comes next.